right now, because a lot of people have complained about how mundane shooters have become. It's become very drab and dark and serious and depressing, and everything is super serious and super realistic to the point where it's like, I don't want to play something that's that realistic to the point it looks like a real person is dying. Like
It,
that's
it
not.
takes me out. It takes me out of the game. Like the graphic, those type of graphics don't pull me in, man. It's like, man, if I want to watch this, I just turn on a movie and watch Saving Private Ryan or something. I want fantasy. I want a sense of fakeness and a sense of non-reality. And I think I get more immersed in that than games like Division was fun because I was playing with K Bum or Shaw or my boy King Cooper.
You were dying with K Bomb, but yeah, go
It
ahead.
don't matter, man. No, you ain't gotta embarrass a person on this podcast, dude. You ain't gotta be like that. We boys now. Anyway, I had fun because of that. But if I was playing the game by myself, I would have been done with that game. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, John Shaw. First of all, tell us what you've been gaming on. Oh well, we'll get to that later on you. But go ahead and jump into this topic and share some thoughts on it.
Um, I don't know because I ain't really been playing it. I've really been paying attention to it. But I think it's just everybody just likes it because it's different.
Okay.
I mean,
I mean,
it's different from what everybody's been getting because at the same time, there's another game that's just like it, but it's not doesn't have the same success as
Battleborn.
yeah, Battleborn. It doesn't have the same success. You know what I'm saying? And, then you got games like what's the one that Cliffy B is coming out with pretty soon?
Something breakers, I think, law break, something like that.
Yeah, law. I think it is Lawbreakers.
Yeah, that's similar too. But right now, what's the name? What the game we talking about again?
Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Don't smoke weed, kids. Um, but
Man, I tell you the truth, boy.
Overwatch. Yeah, Overwatch. I mean, I guess that's a success because it's something different. But I don't necessarily know if it's the graphics or not. I mean, I don't know. I haven't really heard nobody say anything about that. They just like the different characters and different,
Uh,
just how it's just
I've been
different.
hearing a lot. I've been hearing a lot about the graphics. Like that was one of the big things. K Bum.
I love looking at the game. I think the game is artistically beautiful. Uh, to be quite honest with you, and this, like I said, I am a graphic person, so I love graphics. Love graphics. Help make me enjoy a game. And to Levelhead's point, what he was saying about the realistic. See, I'm I'm not down the middle. I'm maybe like 60-40 when it comes from realistic to cartoonies graphics. I do like realistic looking graphics. I like things that look like it does in real life. That helps make me feel a part of the world when it looks real. But I have absolutely zero issues with Overwatch and its cartoony look, and I think it looks great from what their art style they're trying to use, and it plays just as great as it looks, which is the biggest thing. If it just was looks, then no one would be playing this game. If the gameplay wasn't up to par, which as we've seen, it is.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and get in. First of all, John Shaw, what you been gaming on, man? Since
I
you
mean,
showed up.
back on the Uncharted multiplayer, which I'm about to be playing right now. And,
I know you ain't talking. Your mic muted.
yeah, my dumb ass was talking. So, yeah, I've been playing the Uncharted multiplayer again. They came out with some DLC on it. And I'm about to play that. So about to play that right now on the stream, whatever. And
You haven't played the single player yet?
I haven't finished it. No, I haven't gone back since I played it the first time. No,
Oh, okay.
it'll be there. It ain't going nowhere. But but yeah, other than that, that's the Umbrella Corps. That's all I've been playing on some Battlefield Hardline.
Okay.
I went back on that and started playing some of the DLC on that because I bought that season pass alone when I first got the game,
Yeah.
but never downloaded nothing. But now I went back and downloaded all the maps and stuff. So I've been grinding on that and doing that stuff. That's all I've been playing.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, we're here to talk about VR for the most part. I'm trying to say that because there's a few other things I want to talk about. Nintendo had they what they call that? Their
Another investor meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, investors meeting. And some interesting things came out. They interviewed Miyamoto, and there's a few things that he said that I want to get you on real quick. We won't spend too much time on this, but like one of the things he said was that they were going to show the NX at this year's E3, but they chose not to because they have a secret aspect to the system that that they don't want to reveal because of fear of copycatting from, I guess, Sony and Microsoft, and so they're trying to hold it a little bit more close to their chest to a later date to reveal this, I guess, unique aspect to their system. Now, my first question is with this is, how do y'all feel about the whole scaring someone's going to steal, your ideas?
Um,
I throw
Could you
this at
could you
D2K first.
Well,
Go ahead.
could you
let
could
me
you
let me go ahead and say something real quick, because I know what the big secret is.
What's the secret?
They're going back to using cartridges. That's what it is.
No, that's not the secret. That ain't. I do believe they are though. I do believe they are going back to cartridge. But that ain't. I don't think that's a secret. But because that's a secret. That ain't. I don't think they need to hide that.
that's not a big secret.
No. Go ahead, D2K.
can you cue the slap yourself sound effect, please?
Yeah. Let me. Are we going here already, man?
Ow! 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 No, that's my fault. Excuse my rendition of that.
I'm ready.
No, do it.
Oh, you want me to do it? Okay.
Yeah.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up.
That's
I pushed the wrong button. So
what was that, a chainsaw or
yeah, I slapped myself on that one. But go ahead.
um it's almost it's to me it's almost sounds like Nintendo, it's almost like they're run by like a 7-year-old kid. It just seems like the types of the decisions that they make and the type of press releases that they have and the type of responses that they give to journalists and whatnot is like something that a little kid would answer. I mean, it doesn't matter when you unveil the NX. If it's something that's worth copying, the competition is going to copy it. So what difference does it make? You know what I'm saying? To me, it seems like that they're not quite sure whatever it is that they're doing is going to work. So that's the reason why they want to keep it as quiet as long as they possibly can. And they're backing themselves into a corner to where the NX is going to have to be the greatest thing we've ever seen, or it's going to be an absolute failure. Because that's the way they're treating this thing. They're saying you can't see it, you can't hear it, you can't touch it, smell it, taste it. We won't give you nothing until we get good and doggone ready to show it to you. So okay, fine. You're gonna play it that way? This better be the coldest thing I've ever seen in my life. And that's what a lot of people are saying. Even them diehard Nintendo fans are getting fed up with this kind of nonsense. And they're saying the same thing, like, look, you better wow me with this. Seriously. They put themselves in that position. They have to. They can't come out with just something that's just a little bit different and say that's our big secret. People are like, man, get out of here with that, man. Somebody already did that already. So it's going to have to be something that we literally have never seen before. That is the most awesome thing that we could like. This is worth the wait. It has to be that, because if it's not,
I agree. Go ahead. K-Bum already went. No, go ahead, K-Bum. I ain't gonna do you like that. Go ahead, man. Unless
Nah,
you.
man, I don't have too much to add about that, man. It's just, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. because like these other systems are not coming out to almost a whole year after they fully announced, because they're probably gonna announce the NX probably before the shopping season, so before December and blah blah blah. So it's still a whole year before these other consoles come out. So I don't.
but ain't Neo coming out this year though?
You say what?
Ain't Neo coming out this year? PlayStation 4K?
No.
No.
Nuh-uh.
Nah, that's not coming out this year. Yeah, no, I don't think it's coming out this year. I think it's coming out next year. Same
Morphe
as
VR is coming out this year, but not the Neo.
nah, nah, nah. I mean, I don't know why Nintendo's playing the game. Like I said, I'm at the point now. Well, I haven't bought a Nintendo system, so I can't really say too much about that. But I really want to see what they got since everything's hushed and they can't talk about nothing and they have all these secrets. It needs to blow away because if it's just another, something they've already done before or something someone is already doing, then I don't. I think you've alienated your crowd for no reason.
Yep.
Shaw.
Hold on, let me finish this chip real quick.
Boy. Don't. Go ahead, man.
It's just chip.
What happened? I'm eating that what do you call that dip? What's that spinach artichoke dip?
Dude, we don't need to know that this is a video game podcast. We know food connoisseurs.
He's letting you know how unimportant this topic is. Talking about the chips.
I know, man. I got to do a little defense on here, man. Look, come on.
But I understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, their problem is not the fact that people are copying. Their problem is the hypocrisy of the community. Because when Nintendo does it, it's shit. But when Sony and Microsoft copy the same thing, it's the best thing ever to happen.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's the thing. Like when motion controllers came out, everybody's like, "Oh, we don't want to waggle. We don't want to waggle. We don't want to waggle."
Go ahead and say who was saying that, man. Go ahead and tell the story.
It's all kind of people saying that, but I ain't getting into that.
You're the main one. Go ahead. Just do it for the joy of it, man. Just do it.
I'm a different person now.
Okay, all right. Oh man, you making me want to say it so bad. But go ahead.
People were saying they didn't want to waggle. Nobody wants to play like that. Then Sony came out, and it was the best thing ever. This is realistic. This is tight. This is this is awesome. But and that's that. Same thing with the touchscreen on the gamepad. When Nintendo does it, nobody liked it. But when Sony and Microsoft did the little, with the tablet features and stuff.
Smart glass. And,
smart glass and all that stuff, and also in the Vita thing, stuff like that. Oh, it was awesome. It was so great. So the problem is not so much the people copying, because they're going to do that regardless. And then also, if I'm correct, Nintendo is launching in March of 2017.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they say.
Yeah, okay. And then, even if you come out in March of 2017, Xbox Scorpio is not slated till that holiday season of 2017. So that's that November, December of 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And so 9 times out of 10, Scorpio is going to be coming out. I'm not Scorpio, but the Neo is probably going to come out sometime around that holiday season too. So that's still after the fact. So
right,
you still going to come out and still going to have a chance for somebody to copy. So I mean that's not that's neither here or there. But I understand their fear for that. But that's not their problem. The problem is just what the community is going to say, because community is just the hypocrisy of the community. They fickle. They don't. It's just because Nintendo does this shit, Sony does it, it's great. And just like the orchestra at E3, you know what I'm saying? When Nintendo did it, it was silly, it was stupid, it was the dumbest thing ever. Sony did it. Oh my god, this is so awesome.
Yep.
You know
I give you that. But this is my take on it.
Because they're going to copy regardless. I mean, it's just like
exactly.
That's why I'm going to go. That's why I'm going to go. Like
if something worth copying, they're going to copy it. Period.
Right. To me, it's the timing. Like, okay, and this is my issue. This is my issue with Nintendo, and I don't have no problem with it. You didn't show it. Why say it almost goes back to like the reason they didn't put voice chat in Splatoon. Like, just leave it out there that you didn't do it. Don't tell us the reason you gave makes it worse. Like, okay, you didn't put voice chat in Splatoon. All right, we upset about it. We wish it was there. We don't know why you didn't do it. Leave it as a mystery and keep pushing. But to come and tell us, we didn't put it in there because of my experience. And like, okay, you can always turn it off. You know, you can always put a feature in there where you can turn off voice chat if you're not enjoying the responses of other individuals playing the game. Like,
Been doing it for 15 years, folks.
right. So when you skip E3 and 2 weeks removed, this is the reason why we didn't want to. You say this all the time. This is nothing new about Nintendo. We don't need you to tell us. We know y'all. Like, we know y'all well. We done had 30, 40 plus years of learning y'all, y'all nature and how y'all operate. To me, just leave it in a mystery why you didn't show it. Don't say nothing. To me, there was no point in saying that. Like, here's
the thing. Here's the thing.
No, you're gonna get copied regardless. If it's good, if it's something that good,
technically they wasn't saying it to us.
Well, yeah, you're right,
because they sent it to the investors. That's what, so they're explaining to the investors why they didn't come.
But they know we gonna get this information, man.
Yeah, well, they know we're gonna get it, but they can't just not say nothing because they still have to talk to the investors. Because at the end of the day, the investors is what runs the company.
Well, okay. So let me ask this, and I don't want to wear this out, but I'm pretty sure the investors knew before E3, because I'm pretty sure they had to run this by the investors, that they wasn't going to show it at E3. So I'm pretty sure at that investment meeting prior to E3, they should have announced why they wasn't going to show up at E3.
Yeah, they could have did it.
So
the whole thing about not being at E3 is not. I don't really care. But,
no, I don't care. My point ain't E3. My point is, now that you didn't do E3, why after E3 give this reason? Just say we decided not to for strategy reasons and move on. Don't tell us the strategy. Stop like this.
Well,
okay.
Because it's after. See, I understand what they're doing because it's after the fact. You know, after the fact, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't give you negative press. Because they would have said that beforehand. That would have been the narrative all through Heat 3.
That to me that would have been better.
No, I don't think so. Because I think people would have.
So?
Yeah, I think because people.
You know what this gonna.
Go ahead.
Because that would be the whole narrative through the whole E3, and it would took attention away from the thing. Now you see, like everybody thinks they won E3, even though they didn't have the NX.
I'm about to go there.
And now they didn't have the NX, and everybody thinks that they won E3, so that was positive. That worked out to their advantage. So they didn't have no negative press. So now they say this, and now whatever press they get is just whatever press they get. They don't care.
Now I understand, folks. I'm not saying this because I'm not a Nintendo basher. Don't put me in that category. This has been me all the way through. Some things Nintendo do just don't make sense to me, and this is one of the moments I think Miyamoto just left it alone. Don't say nothing about it, and just ride off the hype of Zelda. And let it be. To me, there was no point in saying it. Go ahead, D2K.
To me, it's almost like if you tell a lie and you get away with it, but then you wind up telling more lies and it winds up messing up the lie you got away with, and then you get caught up on that first lie you told. That's what it kind of feels like.
Right.
If they had just kept their mouth shut and moved on, we would have too.
Right, and that's where because it makes it and it don't matter to me, in the sense that it affect me directly. Just as a company, to me, it goes back to what D2K said before. It's like I understand wanting to be secretive and want to keep everything close to chest and not want folks to steal your idea, but then that makes whatever the idea is have to be great, because you made us all key in on, you got this idea, what you got, what is it? You know what I'm saying? Well, we ain't gonna show you because we scared somebody gonna steal it. It's just that grand. Then we see it, it's like that's what you was worried about, people stealing. Like, I hope, and it's like, don't say nothing, just shock us. Just say the index is coming like you've been doing, and we're excited about it. We can't wait till y'all get a chance to experience it. It's something new. That's it. It leaves no mystery to it's something new. okay, I'm okay. I don't know what you mean. It could be the cartridge. It could be the integration of mobile and whatever. But then when you say we got this special, that makes it a whole different conversation. Like what you mean? It got this special thing.
And,
It,
he kind of, and Miyamoto said that if it was just about increasing the technology, then NX would have been out already. So obviously they're obviously saying that this is something that's in addition to
right.
increasing in that area. It's not a confirmation that the NX is going to be powerful, but to me it sounds like they're saying, like, without coming out and saying it, that yeah, it's going to be powerful, but we have something that's going to be over the top that sets us apart from Sony and Microsoft, and we can't say anything about that.
Right. Now, one good thing I would say Miyamoto said was that we have the capability to do VR. That stood out to me because you know what you gotta have to be able to pull off VR.
Right.
So that says if he literally saying we have the capabilities to do VR, you are basically saying that this system is way more powerful than what people believe. You know what I'm saying?
It's more powerful than current gen, obviously.
Right, obviously,
at the very least.
And it goes back to what Reggie said. We are not, and I like that about Nintendo. I wish they would stop saying. Like I said, to me, Nintendo's problem is timing. It's not what they doing; it's the timing in which they do it. Nintendo oftentimes miss pivotal moments and say things at the wrong time rather than the right time most of the time. It's not that what they're doing is just a timing and the way when they say stuff, when they choose not to say something, and when they choose to say something, oftentimes it's a miss, it's a strike. It's like you missed a grand opportunity. You missed it. But anyway, we ain't gonna harp on that. So what else before we get into this VR discussion? Supposedly the Neo is not going to be able to compete with the Scorpio. Anybody got any thoughts on that before we move on to VR? That's why, from what I'm hearing, Sony said it themselves.
No, well, that's stupid.
Yeah,
but then at the same time, it don't really even matter.
Well, basically, what I read, came on an article, it was itechquest.com or something like that, where they basically were saying that the PlayStation 4, I'm just kind of surmising that it's really just the PlayStation 4K literally is that. It's a PlayStation 4 that's VR and 4K capable, and that's the only purpose. It's not about trying to compete with Scorpio. It's about making the PlayStation 4 that's powerful enough to run 4K stuff. That's the whole point of it. And I keep telling people that the PlayStation Neo is the only. Everybody's just labeling all 3D systems as mid-gen consoles. I don't buy that. The only mid-gen console to me is the PlayStation 4K, and they're telling you this. The NX is a next-gen console. It's a ninth-gen console. Scorpio is going to wind up being a next-gen console. That's the reason why they're putting all this, especially because it's pretty obvious that it's going to have some type of Polaris GPU in there. Now, if they didn't say what type of CPU is in there, but if they have a Zen processor and a Polaris GPU, you can't argue the fact it's next gen, because that's leaps and bounds more powerful than the Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
Right. See, I don't know all the tech stuff, but yeah, go ahead, K-Bone.
Yeah, I do have to say something. Well, I retweeted a tweet about a week ago.
What you eating, man? Because it sounds like it must be good.
My fault, man.
You sound like you enjoying whatever you.
So I'm eating some pad thai from a Thai restaurant. Some pad thai. It's legit. You know, your boy like different kind of food. So as I was kind of quiet, trying to finish my meal. But anyway,
go ahead.
About a week ago, I sent out a retweet that was talking about the Xbox Scorpio. And I think Phil Spencer said, I don't know if it's either Phil or someone in Microsoft, actually said that if you do not have a 4K TV, you will not see anything different coming from the Scorpio. And so I know D2K was talking about it being a next gen system, but from what they're saying is that without a 4K TV, and you're not getting anything really different with Scorpio. And this is something that they said, not something that
Yeah,
was
I heard that
interpreted,
too. Yeah,
but
they
they
did.
said
I
that.
did hear that.
So to me, that's not really a next gen system that you have to have. And I believe John replied to it, but I don't think that's a 2K. I mean, a next gen system if you have to have a 4K TV to see any real difference. Because he actually said in the article that if you do not have a 4K TV, you will be better off buying the Slim. This is what they said. If you do
Well,
have a 4K
well,
TV,
well, well.
buy
There's
the
two
Slim.
reasons. There's two reasons for that. One, that's media spin because they don't want people to figure. That was the whole thing coming out of E3. People said you basically just killed the Xbox Slim by announcing Scorpio in the first place. So that's basically backtracking on his part. Say, please buy the Slim, please buy the Slim, please buy the Slim. That's basically what he's saying. The other thing is that
Yeah, I ain't think about that.
resolution and actual tessellation are two different things. Now you can have
Wait, hold on. Say that again. Because I feel like I had to open up a dictionary. What you say?
Resol-
Resolution.
resolution and tessellation are two different things. You can have
Okay.
something that's low tessellation or low poly, but still be in 4K resolution. Having more system power means you can have more tessellation or more polygons on the objects in the game. You can have more draw distance in the game. You can have better lighting, better textures, better physics. Now, it doesn't matter how great those things are. If it's in 1080p, it's going to be 1080p. But if you upscale it to 4K, it's not going to look as good as if it's native 4K resolution. So when he's saying that you won't see a difference if you don't have a 4K TV, he's not saying that your games won't be better in terms of actual graphics on the 4K TV, saying that you won't see it because that type of resolution is only for the actual Scorpio.
Okay. I don't know all the techie stuff, but I did hear what K-Bomb had said that he did say. But I didn't never think about it. He had kind of backed the Xbox Slim in the corner by announcing the Scorpio. It's gonna be like, what's the point of me buying the Slim when the Scorpio coming out next year? And I know this is gonna be pretty much a beefier, more powerful, most likely next gen system. Might as well get that because the S is supposed to be actually the Xbox One stabilized, basically with better specs, a little bit better specs in it.
It's
If I'm
probably
not wrong,
it's probably just overclocked, but
right?
another thing is that we're approaching the point of diminishing returns in terms
Yeah,
of visuals. From now going forward, it's going to be more about animation. It's going to be more about AI. It's going to be more about physics, draw distance, stuff like that. As far as things looking real, things are gotten to the point where they almost look as real as they can look. I mean, there's some room for improvement there, but not a whole lot. So, even, I mean, if you just look at the actual comparison of the specs that it could have, the Scorpio versus what the Xbox One has, it's night and day. And I don't know how much more powerful the Neo is going to be for the PS4K, but based off of what they're saying is that it's going to have the same CPU in there, but a better GPU. And if that's the case, then there could be some bottlenecks there.
yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that.
Okay. So let's transition into this VR talk since because I agree. I think we have reached a place to where just continuing to try to push out better visuals is pretty much we the glass ceiling. There ain't much farther we can go with it. Uh, I think graphics, like even with the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, this generation hasn't blown me away. There's nothing I've seen on PC that has blown me away. And I ain't no PC gamer, but at the same time, I haven't seen anything that has blown me away. But the topic of this podcast was: is VR here to stay? Is it a reality or is it a gimmick? And I have experienced the Oculus, and I experienced the Vive. John Shaw has experienced both, and K Bum has experienced both, and he has also experienced the VR of from Sony. So let's talk about it. First of all, let me get a consensus on all you guys. Do y'all believe VR is here to stay? Like, do you believe it is the future, is the next thing? Do you think it's going to catch on well enough to supplant what we are currently experiencing with, saying high definition TVs and all that? Or is it some other thing that's going to be coinciding with our high definition TVs? I'll throw that at John Shaw since he's been quiet for a while.
Y'all ain't heard my chips chipping now, y'all. Still
Nah.
crunching. Okay, cool. Make sure I didn't know if I was like, damn, I keep forgetting I'm on the podcast and stuff. But now, I think it's a fad.
You think it's a fad?
Yeah, I think it's something that'll be here for just a little bit and then it'll go away. I really don't think it's here to stay. Unless, and if it to be here to stay, it's gonna have to be a lot cheaper than what it is. And it's gonna have to be like that $99 cheap, like the Samsung VR that they do. But then at the same time,
now
that's
you
not,
got that right. You got that too. You got that too. So we're gonna deal with the experiences of all of them, but
they,
so you say you think it's a
even at
fad?
that, it still takes a pretty nice phone to power that. You know what I'm saying? Which is, those are still about $600-700. No, but at the end of the day, it's $600-700. But depending on what your service provider do for you, then
Right.
that price can be different. But I don't think it's something that's gonna take over the TV. I don't think it's. I mean, unless we're just gonna have a party where everybody gonna put on a headset or something. Hey, come over, let's go play this game. And everybody pop in the headset. I mean, so that means you're gonna have to buy like 4 or 5 of these headsets. $400 headsets and stuff like that. I don't know. I just don't see it taking off like that.
Okay. D2K.
I don't know. I don't know. It's too early to tell.
Okay. K-Bum, you think it's here to stay, or you think it's gonna supplant, or you think it's gonna coincide with where we at today?
It's hard to say if it's here to stay. That's a very bold statement to say. Just like we had, if you looked at the Wii, and looked at what it did, you would have probably said motion gaming was here to stay, because that was the existence of the Wii and how many units it sold, and people would have said motion gaming most likely was here to stay, especially with Xbox coming out with theirs and then PlayStation coming out with theirs. That you would have thought in the middle of last gen that motion was here to stay. Where is motion?
I think it's still here. I think motion is here.
It's not. No, I mean you don't see games.
It's back now because of VR, but without
yes, because of VR, it is back. But without VR, where was motion gaming? You had a little bit of it with the Wii U and with its gamepad, but on the other systems, they're making Xboxes without the Kinect sensor, and they're even making Xboxes without the plug-in for Kinect. And then Sony hasn't made a game for the Move in years.
They still use accelerometers in the controller though.
Yes.
Yes. So no, that's what I was saying.
They still have that, but you had that with the 6-axis.
Right. But that's still motion control. So
yeah, but you had that before the Wii really came in, and I don't even consider that motion control. I consider that an add-on to the gameplay. I don't even consider that motion control. To me, that's just an add-on.
You talk about like when you actually move your arm, it does. You talking about 1-to-1?
I mean 1-to-1. I mean the whole game like is built around doing that.
Okay,
like,
I got
that is your input, is the motion control.
Right.
You have things that supplement the motion control with the input when you have the gyroscope and stuff like that. But that's not the core input. The core input is still the buttons, the control
Right.
pad, and blah blah blah.
I
So
agree.
it's hard for me to say that it's here to stay, but I do want to say that it has a great chance to be here to stay. I really do want to believe that it's here to stay just because of what I've seen and what I've experienced. It is to a whole nother level of gaming, and it does open up a bunch of possibilities. The only thing that can really determine if it's here to stay is the people making the games for the system. If they can keep things lively and make and be innovative with using VR and not just phoning in and just give you like the Final Fantasy crap, but give you okay, now you can look around. You can play the same game you've been playing, but now you can look around. That's garbage. No one wants that. We want a brand new experience with VR. So as long as they can give you that and not just phoning in and just to make a quick VR buck, just like they did with 3D, they phone in 3D and just made everything 3D, but they didn't actually make it native 3D. So if they can actually use the medium correctly and the inputs correctly, then yes, I do believe it would be a stage. Just like, but I kind of disagree with what Shaw was saying because I don't think it needs to be $99. Um, just looking at something like the Xbox Elite controller and what I've heard about how many, I mean that's been selling, and that's what a $200 controller, and people you would think people will rather want a $30 controller,
But at
but
the
I mean
same time, but if you look at how many consoles, 30 million and only 2 million sold, that's still not that's not a mainstay. That's only a certain demographic of gamers.
but I still think yeah I agree with that, but I think that's where the VR is going to sit. It's going to sit out of 30 million is going to be 2 million, but I think it has a possibility to grow to more. And then after that, when that experience comes and they say, you know what, you can only get this kind of experience on the VR, then I can see people start adapting. But you need those early adapters to jump on to say, hey, this is cool, and to get other people to join to jump on the same boat. The same thing with the VR on the PC. It's gonna start off small from what they probably sold, but they need early adapters to bring everybody else to become a part of it.
It could be sort of like how you have the people who are the high end gamers who buy the absolute number one GPUs and CPUs to play games at all games in ultra settings. That's a very, very, very small percentage of the gaming population, but it's there. And that could be where VR fits in, is that even though it's expensive right now, and it probably will be for a while, there's a place for it, even though it's not going to be all encompassing.
Right. I agree with D2K. I don't think VR is a mainstream success. I think VR is a PC success. If you're into the PC gaming and all, I think because that's a pretty much a solitary single experience, saying by yourself, isolated. Not you ain't got a whole bunch of people playing one PC game. Is most of the time it's just one person. So I think VR will work in that setting. I think the push to make VR mainstream is not going to work. I think it's here to stay, but not in the field that they're trying to push it in. So like PlayStation VR, I don't think it's gonna I don't think it's gonna flop. It won't be the move, but it's flirting with like Vita like numbers. It's or maybe it might be more successful than Vita,
And that's
but
why I think it's not going to succeed because the development that it takes to make these games, it's going to take more sales to make that beneficial.
okay,
Because you know what I'm saying? Because like it takes more to make a VR game than what it takes to make a good VR game than what it takes to make a regular video game.
right,
Because there's whole lot of other aspects that go into it, and so that's a whole lot of other resources that you got to use and development time that you got to take to do that. And so if they're not selling, they don't think that they're going to receive a certain amount of return, then they're not going. The developers are going to stop publishing for it, and it's going to fall off.
right,
That's why I say they have to. That's why I say the price has to come down because everybody's not buying. Everybody ain't going out. They not PlayStation's not about to get 40 million for VR sales. They be lucky if they get 20 million. You know, if they get 20 million, I clap my hands and say, hey, yeah, they got it. But I don't even think they're gonna get that. I think they might hit 5 or 6.
Yeah, that's the number that I'm. But see, I think 5 and 6 is still good for them for the entry. But I don't believe that it has to do 20 million now. But see, the problem with Connect, I don't think the problem with Connect wasn't that they didn't sell enough. I thought the problem with Connect was that people making the game didn't give you enough and give you enough options. But I thought the Connect itself was a very good piece of technology, and even for the price that they had, it was a good price. So I think the failure of Connect was due to um, the companies making the games for it.
Well,
See, my thing is, oh, go, go, go.
that's the problem with any peripheral that succeeds, because the same thing happened with the Wiimote. The initial games for the Wii, you saw people actually using the Wiimote properly. It's mostly Nintendo, but other companies, even like Activision, a lot of people said that they love using the Wiimote for Call of Duty games. And then you like the first couple of games on the Wii U. Like, I still say that Batman Arkham City Armored Edition was amazing, with was amazing use for the gamepad on the Wii U. But after that, people said, no, we're not going to even bother with this. So it has a lot to do with the actual developers taking the technology and coming up with something that's really innovative, that's easy to use, and really creative, so that people can say, hey, this is cool, let's go out and buy this. And more people, you get that um, word of mouth, and it starts to blow up and becomes big like the Wii did. You know.
Well, see, the difference between the Wii and the Connect, every system had a Connect. I mean, not a Connect, but every system on Nintendo had a Wii remote. So developers didn't have to take that guessing work of, oh, do they have this or do they not have it. With the Connect, they had to take this guesswork. It's like, well, how many of these people have this? How many people are actually going to use this? Then they got to
Right.
go, how many people do we think is going to buy this?
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But with the Wii, everybody has it, so it's like it doesn't matter. So and that's the primary way of controlling it.
Right, that's what I was going to say. Is
I agree.
with VR right now, developers have a hard time making games for multiple things. Like, you got the PlayStation 4, you got PlayStation VR, you got PlayStation. They don't want to have to make stuff for multiple things. If VR was the prime experience, then it would be successful because that's all they got to focus on.
Now I think
But
Sony's gonna sell more than Oculus and Vive is. I know that guaranteed off the bat because of the lower price point. That's why I say if they get lower,
I
lower
don't
price.
know, man. I don't know.
They might want to think about just go ahead and eating that loss, just to be able to get that price low enough to where the mainstream media can pick up on and say, hey, this is a cool,
Yo, what's up, Ace?
new thing here,
But
because they'll make it back later on.
But
see,
they're still lower than everybody else though when you compare it to.
yeah, they lower than
But if
everybody
you don't have a PlayStation 4, you got to go out and buy that. So it's pretty
And
much
you're
about
still
the same
cheaper though.
price. But it's
No,
still
you're still cheaper. You still come out a little bit cheaper.
But I agree with D2K though. What he's saying is the VR is what, $399 or $499?
I think it's $399.
So that's $400. That's $450 just for the VR
device.
device. Then you got to go out and buy
$399 for the PlayStation.
$399 for the PlayStation, or $350. I don't know where it's at now. I think it's $399. So that's $700-800
Then you gotta buy
just
the camera.
to
And then
play
the eye.
in it.
Then the eye.
Then that's another $60.
And
Then the
motion
move
controllers
remotes.
if you want.
Yeah, the remove remotes to really get the experience. So that's another $60-70.
And then you got to get the games.
And then the game. So you already out about $1,000.
Well, yeah,
Just-
but the PC counterpart to that, you want $1,000 just for the computer.
Just for the computer, exactly.
What I was going to say is VR, in my opinion, from what I experienced, and we finna get into the experience. Because just because we don't think it's going to be successful don't mean it's not a real experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think VR was really targeting the PC gamer, and I think Sony brought it into being something for mainstream, where I don't think the original plan was mainstream with Oculus and Vive. I think it was really a PC experience It was supposed to be niche. It was supposed to be something if you could afford it and wanted, a grander experience. Then here's your next level. I think that space will work for VR. But trying to make VR mainstream, like Wii and the Wii Remote or something on that level, or what was that with Xbox and the Kinect? I don't think. I think it's out for failure. It's going to fail in that market. That's me. I think it's going to fail because, okay, I just take my home. And K-Bum, no, it was as we was experiencing, I was looking at the experience, and everyone has to detach while they watch you experience it. So we got to take turns. So yes, it's fun at a moment, but then I got to dismount it, put it off my head, set you up to play it, and then I got to watch you play, and then I got to take it off your head. The next, that ain't realistic for something that you want to spend $400 for. Whereas giving everybody a controller and throwing in Mario Kart, or getting everybody a controller and throwing in NBA 2K16, the parent can walk out the room with kids having fun, but VR, you're gonna have a lot of fussing. You're gonna have a lot of well, it's my turn, or it's my turn. All that it ain't viable.
Or somebody broke it. That you gotta worry about that stuff too.
All that. So
Now, I do have to say something to that level here.
Go ahead.
What you're saying. Now, see, what you're describing is the reason why I didn't like the Wii. Because to me, the Wii was fun with multiple people.
Right, but
it wasn't. But it wasn't fun by myself. And
right.
Most of my gaming I do is by myself. So
that's where I was going. Like I'm not talking about you. You ain't the multiple. You're not the mass. You are a sector of gaming. You don't count in this scenario. For VR to be successful. No, understand what I'm saying. We don't count. I don't count. D2K don't count. Don't count. We talking about the casual. For VR to be successful, they can't. The 6 million that Shaw was talking about. You are in that number. You don't count. It don't. They not. That's what happened with the Wii U. The 10 million don't count. It's the other 90 or 80 or 70 who count. That's what make it successful. And right now, them are families. Those are families making the PlayStation 4 successful. Not K-Bomb, not Leveled Head, not John Shaw. We help, but the reason it's 40 million is because families have bought that systems with multiple kids who are experiencing it. That exactly what I just described is they home, they game and experience in their house. Is not a dude with a man cave who wife don't come down there. That ain't who's making the PlayStation successful. That's a small number in that 40. Like the Wii was successful from the grandmas and the grandpas and the moms and the soccer moms and the dads and the uncles and the kids all hovering around the TV playing
plus the core gamers.
Yeah, plus the core gamers. If all PlayStation get with the VR is core gamers, it's the Vita all over again. That's what happened to the Vita. You needed to be the 3DS. You needed to be the DS. You needed to be the Wii. You needed to be the PlayStation 2. That's what VR gotta be to be successful. If it don't hit them type of numbers, it's gonna be a fad. It's gonna be an expensive, real experience that did not catch on.
See, at one point, that's why they have consoles, because at one point in time, being a PC gamer was a niche thing, and that's why the games were a whole lot cheaper, because they weren't selling a whole lot on those systems. That's why we have things like Valve and stuff like that, because they needed to find a way to make people come back to PC. Because PC wasn't profitable to make games on PC, unless you was like World of Warcraft or something like that. Because those were the only type of games that were actually selling on that at that point in time. And then now you see recently that's a changed thing. Now PC is up there in the talks with when you talking about gaming.
Right, it's the third console now.
Yeah, basically. And so it's back where it should be. It's not a niche anymore. And so at that time, as it is a niche, you see developers were shying away from it because they didn't feel like they could be profitable on the PC. I'm saying that's the same thing. I feel like how VR is gonna be like. Yeah, we're gonna have those niche people that do it, but if there's
Right.
only 6 million people on it, then that means I'm probably only gonna maybe sell maybe a few 100,000 at that. Unless I can guarantee that everybody on that system is gonna like my game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And
And then
you got to experience it to understand the value, but then it goes back to like what Miyamoto. I had to agree with Miyamoto. After a while, eye fatigue. You can't play it super long. It's heavy. It don't bother your eyes for like 30 minutes to an hour, but I can definitely see it bothering your eyes after like 2-3 hour playthrough. Your eyes will probably be tired of that that uh that view being so close on your eyes. Even though you don't feel it, it's still right on your eyeball. So
I
there's
mean,
a
even
lot
because
to
they
it.
gonna have to do a lot because even Samsung they giving it away and they still ain't. I don't even still think they even hit no 2 or 3 million of them yet sold yet.
Right. So,
They giving them
but
away.
anyway, so let me get a consensus before we start talking about the actual experience. D2K, you say you not for sure. It's
I'm not.
still wait and
I
see.
mean, it's a wait and see thing. I mean, it like like K-Bomb was saying, it's got potential to be successful, but a lot of things are going to have to fall into place for it to actually come to fruition to be successful.
Okay, John, saw you said no, right?
Yeah, I don't think it is.
And
I
K-Bomb,
think
you basically
it'll last for at the most 5 or 6 years.
okay. And K-Bomb, you basically said what D2K just
Yeah, very
retorted.
similar to what he's saying. Yes.
Okay, so let's jump into the actual experience now. Been waiting. I got my boy sent me the videos. I got to get this stuff up of us. Boy, we look like we need to hit the gym, K-Bun. We need to hit. I've been on the gym hard since I watched them videos, man.
I know,
But
brother. I've been in the gym too, brother.
I mean, I don't look too bad, but I was like,
I'm
I
in the
got
gym right now. It's called Dunkin' Dip.
no, man. No, man. Ain't no dunk. Come on. Anyway, so like I said, I had the luxury of going up to the loo, meeting up with K-Bum. My wife was with her family, so I was free, y'all. I had freedoms. I had some free anyway. So he was like, I was watching him play Overwatch, and he's like, dude, I played Oculus and I played Vive. I was like, when did you go to E3? So he was like, man, I got a friend I work with. He's like, man, I got a friend, you know what I'm saying, that got it, and I won't. We gonna have him on eventually, the friend that got it, but right now we won't disclose all that. But he was like, I was like, man, call him up, man. I want to check this out. So he called dude up. Dude was welcoming to me coming and playing it. So I get there after the long trip. We get there and we go to his man cave, which was nice, and it was really, really pleasant place, man. It felt like we was off in, what I'm saying, some special thing going on for us, like we was at some special developer's house, like Microsoft invited us out to try
Y'all
out
taking
something.
trips and stuff.
It was pretty cool, man. So we get down there and uh K-Bum going crazy with the Nerf guns and stuff, but uh so we get down there. He hooked it up. The first thing we played was Oculus, and I kid you not, man. It was a lot of demos, like Shaw was saying. I played this one demo where a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I don't know if I told this already. Have I told this?
No, you was just telling me.
Okay. A Tyrannosaurus Rex was coming down a corridor, and I'm getting chills going up my spine right now talking about it. But it punked leveled head out. K-Bone was like, don't you take them off. Don't you take them Oculus glasses off. And I was standing there, dude, and I knew it wasn't real. I knew what I was looking at was not real. But I could not handle it. I couldn't do it. I punked out. I took them off. And it really makes you forget that you're in a digital world. That's how real it looks, man. I mean, and I don't think VR PlayStation can do this. And K-Bomb has experience of VR. I haven't, but that's why I say I think it'll work for PC if you got the computer that can run it. This thing literally make you like it was one part where I had to walk out on this ledge and look down and look around, and it literally made you not want to walk up. Like you felt like you was high. The sound effects, the distance, the draw distance, the everywhere you look was skyscraper and outside the building looking at standing on the edge, and it was like, oh my, I can't do it. And so eventually my mind went on and realized you were not on a skyscraper, so I walked up and it was fine. But for a second there, I had to keep reminding myself I'm in a digital world. But with the terrain, the first time I punked out, the second time I did it, and it was still hard to do it because he's yelling and sweating and slobbing, and his teeth was right in your face, and his sound was realistic. It was like, oh my God, dude, I can't do this. So I'm gonna let K-Bum jump because I don't want to steal all of us. Some other stuff we played. But K-Bum, what was your, and then I'll jump to Shaw. What was your experience with it, man? Is the experience legit?
First of all, before I get into that, I want to congratulate Levelhead for coming out and being bold and admitting how big of a punk he was.
You was a dirty one. And
he wasn't
B2K, you wrong for pushing them claps on that, man.
Hey, that was
a dirty one for doing that.
Because if he wasn't going to do it, I was going to front the brother out. So I don't got nothing to say but give him applause. Okay. All right. So the experience of VR, man.
Oculus. We dealing with Oculus right now.
So Oculus. The thing is, the biggest thing for me was we played this shooter, and I'll be able to compare this shooter to the shooter. I played the same shooter on both the Oculus and the PlayStation VR. So I better compare this. But we played the shooter called Eve Valkyrie, I believe. And the first thing that got me was that I looked down from the headset and I saw a virtual body, and it freaked me out.
Yeah.
Because I looked down and I did not see my arms. I saw a body, but it was not mine. So I was like, what in the world? Oh, okay, I'm in VR. That's what's going on. And so that was the first thing that got me. And then, just being in the environment and flying, because you're actually flying like a new age airplane, something like that, like an airplane flyer, like an Ace Combat, and you're flying this machine, and you start to get comfortable with it, and you're doing dog fights in the air, and you're going back and forth, and you're moving your head, you're locking on your missiles. I mean, it's a full experience,
and it's full 360, so you're not going linear, like going straight forward. You literally look like you tail spinning sometimes. I couldn't do it. I was like, man, this is making me...
I have a quick question. How is your peripheral vision with the glasses? Like, can you look out in the corner of your eye with the glasses?
Yep.
Okay.
Like, anyway, okay, it's like you sitting in your room right now and you look around, it looks just like that.
Okay.
Literally. It looks like you're in a physical world, and the only thing that lets you know that this world ain't real is where your nose is. If the glasses don't fit your nostril right on, you can see the light of the actual room.
Okay.
If it wasn't for that, I would have thought I would have forgot I wasn't in the real world. That's how real it is. I kid you not, man. The game he played made me feel like Top Gun when like when the plane gets shot down and they be showing it from the cockpit and it's flipping all out. You see the sky turning all different ways. Just imagine that. Imagine yourself being in the cockpit when that's happening, how that would look. That's how that game was, man. And it literally made me nauseous, not because of the
headset.
The headset, it how realistic the movements was. It made me want to. It's like I told him, I was like, I gotta take this off, man. It's too real. Like if you going down, it looked like you going down, and then you spin back up, It's like it was like, no, this too real. I can't do that. So I was like, man, I need something that's just straightforward. You done threw me in this dog fight. I can't focus, and this dude shooting me from all these. It was a little too real for me. And I K-Bum, he could do it. I couldn't do it. I was like, get this off me. So yeah, it's like you sitting in the room and you looking around, and it's like your room. It's just
Yeah,
digital.
yeah. It's you do get a feel like um, when you first started, it's kind of uncomfortable. You're just trying to adjust. The screen seems like it's a little off in your eyes. It's like it just seems a little off. And then once you start going through it, you actually forget where you are. And I think that's one of the biggest things. I don't want to go too far into it right now, and how far you want to go into it. But to me, that's one of the biggest seller of VR. It's the fact that there were several times that I forgot that I was in a basement over a
Right,
friend's house playing a game. That I thought that I was in the whatever place I was actually at. And so,
right.
um, I mean, that to me, that's the biggest thing, and that's so I don't want to go too far, but the thing between the Wii, and its inputs and this input, and that this is more than just inputs. This is more than a different way of interacting with the world. This is immersion. So going from the sounds, because you have a headset on, so you're
Yeah,
everything you hear. You don't hear the outside world. You hear the game, and it's one thing that I actually said, and I think Leverhead kind of did the same thing when he got done playing. He took off the headset and took the headphones off, like the first thing I said was, I'm like, wow, so this is real life, because that's how comfortable I became in the video game world. Then when I took everything off, I'm like, crap, oh, whoa, okay, well, okay, this is real, and that's legit. That's not me just trying to pump something up.
yeah.
I mean,
It really is, man. It's scary how realistic it can get. Like one game I was playing. Only reason I knew I was playing the game, the graphics didn't match the other games. Like that's Vive. We won't go there yet. But I end up playing, and this is where I think Nintendo fans would love for Nintendo to jump into VR. What was that Fox game I played, man? I can't think of the name of it.
Star Fox.
No, it wasn't Star Fox. It was a platformer like Mario, but it
I
was.
don't know the name of it. I'm sorry.
But anyway,
A platformer like Mario and Nintendo.
With in VR.
yeah, in VR, it's like you playing Mario Galaxy or Mario 64, but the graphics was something that you would see on the PlayStation 4 or
Okay,
beyond.
okay.
So it looked better than to me it looked better than what's that game on PlayStation 4
Ratchet
right
and
now?
Clank.
Yeah, it looked better than Ratchet and Clank.
It was
It
like
was
Ratchet and Clank and Mario
merged
platformer
together. Yeah.
merged together and made a game.
Yeah. So now this what made it dope. And this what sold me on it. Like I could play this all day. Um you're not the view that you see, you're not the actual character. You can see the character.
Yeah, it's
You
not first person.
you are the camera that follows the character, but instead of being linked to the character, you can look away and see stuff that the character can't see. Or you can look away from the character and see what's behind you, see what's over here, see the platform over there, see the waterfall over here, see the trees over there. And it looks like you're in the real world, but as you play the character, he's running around in this 3D all around you environment. And you're the camera following them. But you can it was surreal, man. It was 3DS, but you're in the 3D. It's not you're looking at this 3D on the screen. You're in it, and you're a part of this world. I can't. It's hard to explain until you experience it. But it was so immersive and so fun. That's probably why I haven't picked up nothing in a while. Like I kid you not, I have not turned since I got home from St. Louis. You can ask my wife. I have yet to turn on any one of my systems, and I might turn on the Wii U when I want to surf the internet. I don't feel like turning on my computer or I ain't got my phone. But like actually playing the game, I haven't done it, and uh, that game really stole it from me. Like or sold it for me. It was like, dude, if Nintendo got a hold could do this, Mario would be set apart from anything on the market. But it was a real experience, man. Oculus. Even K Bum got into it. Shaw did like now. I know you said you played it at. What did you say you played at, Shaw? You
CES.
played CES.
It was a long time ago
Me
though.
and K. Oh, this is a long time ago. Do you want to share any of that, or you feel like it ain't relevant now?
Well,
I don't know.
my thing for me, the experience is cool, but I'm still for me in order to want it, I have to have that whole experience, the motion controls, along with the VR experience, and along with the immersion, that first person immersion for me to want it. You know what I'm saying?
So you talking Vive then? You're not
No,
talking
I'm talking
Oculus.
about the
Uh,
whole.
Oculus is going to get the controllers, but it doesn't have it right now.
Oh no,
Yeah,
Pete,
Vive.
Oculus and what's the name? They ain't getting my money. Period. So that shit costs too
I'm
much.
just saying, like
Uh,
Vive is what you just
no,
described is
that's
what
so. That's why
Vive
I
is
said
doing.
Sony's doing that because they have the what's the name
The move.
the Move controllers, and they had the stuff,
I'm
and they had some of the games that I want to play, and they also had the gun and stuff like that.
I'm
The stuff like I want to play.
I'm telling you right now, and I bet you K-Bum will vouch for me.
I know they got it, but the thing is, they're not
No,
for sale yet.
no, what I'm saying is what VR is doing with the move and all that ain't touching Vive at all. I guarantee it ain't. It's and then we ain't even talked about it yet, but what Vive is doing, I think the headset of Oculus is better, but what Vive is doing with VR, I don't think nobody is touching it.
That they've definitely hit it out the park when it comes to VR because I don't know if we're jumping into it.
Let's go. We haven't been on Oculus long enough.
All
Let's
right.
go on Vive.
There's one key aspect of the Vive that sets it apart from the Oculus, and it's very very key, and you don't realize it until you actually use it. The way Oculus works is that there's a camera in front of you, and then there's a headset, and the camera tracks the headset, and then when they have controllers, it'll track the controllers as well. But it's only from one viewpoint,
Right,
so the depth perception thing really isn't there. The side to side isn't there. Once it loses track of the headset, your screen kind of goes gray.
right.
But
That's VR. That's what VR is going to do.
yeah, that's the PlayStation VR is going to be the same way as that. It's going to be the same way. It's only one point of view from the camera. But what sets it apart with the
You muted your. Oh, okay.
You dropped out.
okay, you can hear me. I'm good.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
there's actually two cameras here. There's and what it does, it creates
Digital
a
box.
digital box, a square footage that you can actually walk around in, and you don't really understand how much that changes gameplay until you do it. It completely changes the way games can be made and the way you can interact with games. The fact that you can literally move around and it can track the headset, it can track your controllers as you move around this environment. One point in case was I'll jump into it is that there's an actual game where you control a ship. So I'm trying to the best way to think of this. Think of when we're playing that rocket. I guess Centipede would be a good version of it.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
go
like
play
centipede.
Centipede. Everyone remember the 2D Centipede. All right. Now imagine that in 3D. Okay,
Hmm.
so the thing can shoot you from any direction. But now think about that. So you're not just using the controller to move the ship around. You are the ship. And so as things are shooting you in 3D, you can walk in and out of frame and around the objects to move it. It's hard to get a picture of what I'm saying,
You got to
but
do it to
when you
understand
actually
it.
do it, it's mind
This
blowingly
is part of this
different.
augmented reality with VR.
No, it's not. It's not augmented
Nah,
reality because augmented
uh-uh.
reality means it's
You
looking at
see the
it's
real
augmenting.
world.
Yeah, the
It's
real
putting it
world.
on the real world.
Yeah.
No,
It-
it's like you were in your room and the
But
cameras.
being able to center around the thing, like going around, like you see an object and you walking around the object, it's just like what it is. It's just instead of you looking at the real world, you're still in the virtual world.
Yeah. Well, so
Like
like
I can put the
K-Bums.
card down on the table, look at it through the thing, but I can circle around it. But instead of me having to hold the device, looking at it, I'm looking at it through my eyes.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, you pretty much right. What K-Bun was saying too, though, is it's like the cameras create it's like the cameras literally create a environment that you can actually walk around
Yeah,
in.
with their little space things
Yeah.
that you put around the
So
room.
Yeah,
like a few times I ran into the wall. That like literally I swung like it was one game, like the game K-Bun played.
I didn't know what he was doing. I don't know what he was.
I was playing this game that would put you in the mind of a Zelda, and
Oh yeah, that
I
was
had a
cool.
yeah, I had a sword and a shield. It would put you in because it would put you playing it like Skyward Sword. You literally swinging your sword 1-to-1 motion, right, like Skyward Sword. But I can walk and back up and dodge like I'm fighting somebody in real life,
Yeah, that was
and
cool.
the what's in the game is moving to how I move.
One to
So
one.
as I'm
One
one
to
to
one.
one with me.
One to
So
one.
as I dodged, he dodged and parried and moved. I had to back up. I had to literally step to the side. I couldn't, and to
And
order to get out the way.
and you pick around. You can pick around corners. So it was all one to
Yeah.
one. So you can actually pick around the corner, shoot your bow and arrow.
This is gonna be
So
hot if they do a boxing game.
yeah, right. So if they did a box game, you can see where they go. So basically, now as you walk, as you got out of the range of your box, what
What's
it would
up,
do
idiot
is, as you
cat?
got
I
close
think
to
that's your
your
name.
box limit, a digital fence would come up to let you know you're moving out of the digital world space to move in. So what you had to do is you take the remote and you click to a different spot in the room, and the box moves to that spot. Now you can move in that area freely.
So it's almost kind of like a holodeck on Star Trek.
Right? It's
Yeah,
dude. It's surreal now.
yeah. That's actually a pretty good
Right.
analogy of what's going on. Just imagine the holodeck being the virtual world, and there's cameras on the outside of the holodeck shooting in and creating this environment for you, and you're actually walking around. That's actually a pretty good example. Thank
Yeah.
you, okay?
You literally walking around like if you like. I got the videos. I'm gonna put them up. I had to crawl. I had to get on my knees and I had to crawl under a blade,
Some
like
blades,
a
yeah.
booby trap blades,
You
like
listening to
in
the live and
Indiana
level
Jones. I
gamers
had to go over
podcast.
here. I literally had to reach in and light the fire. I had to do it as if I was reaching into a window, like a shelving of a window, and light my torch. I couldn't just. I had to literally, like I was really doing this, like all body had to be sold out to do it.
Yeah.
So, like K-Ball was saying, it's something that you won't understand. I would have been the first to say it was gimmick. I would have been the one to say VR is gimmick. Once I experienced it, once I left, to this day, I'm still dumbfounded by how immersive this game was and how it literally made me forget I was in a digital world. It's crazy, man. Literally, but I still don't think it's here to stay. But
So my
But
thing,
not
man,
on
was
no
like,
not on the mainstream level. Go ahead.
cause yeah, I played those. They cool. I was like, but I was like, the price point and at the end of it, it just didn't justify it. Like, that's why I said Sony is close enough to what I want, and the price point is just low. It's just low enough to where I get into it.
Well, let's talk about VR because K-Bum is experiencing. So
okay,
K-Bum, based off the other two, the
okay,
Vive and how was VR?
all right. First, before I get into it, everyone, if you listen to podcasts or you guys catch this, even for the people on the podcast, there's a website I'm gonna have to link to you guys as well. But Best Buy and GameStop are actually demoing the PlayStation VR, so you can actually go out there and try it out yourself. But you have to check the Sony's website to see which Best Buy or GameStop in your area is actually doing it, and it's usually being done on Fridays and Sundays. So, uh,
Okay.
so make sure you guys check that out. I'll try to put the link in the video whenever it ends. Okay. So, talking about PlayStation VR. The first thing about the PlayStation VR is that I think the headset may be a little bit more comfortable than other guys.
Okay.
It's bulkier, but it was a little bit it felt more comfortable because I always felt like the vibe was gonna fall off the back of my
Yeah,
head.
yeah. The vibe did feel like it wasn't completely
Uh,
on your head.
and then with the Oculus, you can it had those lights coming underneath it. They actually came into the system, so you can see the lights from below. But the PlayStation VR had neither of those issues. It didn't feel like it was gonna fall off, but it also didn't have any light underneath it actually coming up, and it was easier to adjust than any of the other ones. Um, so with the PlayStation VR, I played the Eve Valkyrie game. That's a game I explained for the Oculus that you're actually in a ship or plane that's similar to the Ace Combat games, and you're flying around. The first thing I noticed about that was that the graphics was is not the same as the Oculus. It is a little bit behind the Oculus as far as graphics
Well, this
goes.
disclaimer: Eve period on the PC is always going to be better than even without the VR.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Eve on the PC is a beast.
yeah, you're right. You're right on that. 'Cause my buddy's PC is a beast. He pretty much
yeah,
he has the second to highest graphics card. So his system is definitely a beast. And so the first thing I really noticed, and the second, another thing I noticed that there was a little movement, like when you stand still, you still feel yourself moving a little bit. Uh, and and I chalked that up. I really just chalked that up to the system not being finished yet. That they can fix that issue, that this is just issues of not this is an early model, because I did play the Oculus beforehand, months before, and the way that it looked that did not look like what it does now. So they were definitely upgrading it too. So I believe the PlayStation is going to fix that little issue that kind of makes it moves and makes it unlevel. But to get into the actual game, it's I said that I actually felt more comfortable playing it on the PlayStation than I did on the Oculus. The reason for that could be that in my hand was a PS4 controller, something I'm more comfortable with, other than the Xbox controller that was in my hand playing the Oculus. But I immediately picked up the game. It was the
yeah. That
same game I
probably was
played
the
before,
controller.
and I immediately picked it up, and I killed way more and did way better than I did with the actual Oculus. And I picked it up, and it was legit. And I was like, man, this is fun. I didn't get any sick feeling. I still felt fine, and so on and so on. So I played that game. But the game that stole the show for me, and that it was probably the second or third best VR game that I played. We didn't talk about the best VR game that we played, and that was on the Vive. But maybe we can chance to talk about that. But
Yeah, you can go
I
back.
played on the PlayStation. And it was I felt kind of bad because it was a simple game, but I had so much fun playing it. So I'll try to describe the game. The way the game works is that everyone knows about Tetris. Everyone knows that. So it's similar to that, but it's a little different. Let me explain. So you're looking head on. You have an object in front of you. That's a cube in front of you, and best way to explain it. Have you guys seen it? It's like a Japanese game that came to America, where people had to fit. There will be a shape that will come at you. There will be a wall, and coming at you will be a shape, and you had to fit your body into that shape. You guys ever seen that show? It's called
Mm-mm.
like
Yeah, I seen some of it.
yeah,
Yeah, I know what
and,
you're talking
and
about.
you had to fit your body to fit the shape that was coming at you,
Yeah, to
and it was
make
a
it pass
wall.
by you. Yeah,
Yeah, it was a wall coming at you, and the wall had a cutout of a particular shape, and you had to fit it in order to for the wall just to go past you. And
yeah,
yeah, so it was just like that. You had a shape, and there was a wall coming at you. You had to turn the shape in 3 dimensions to get it to fit through the wall. And it very simple concept, very very fun because you actually when you're looking at the VR, you look straight ahead, you just see the shape, and you see a little bit of the wall. You have to move around the object, looking at it from the side, look at it from the front, and then you have to look around the object in order to see the shape, the wall that's coming at you. And it feels. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, understand why, but it was the second most fun I had playing a VR was playing a game. It was just me just trying to fit these particular shapes through a wall, and me using the VR headset to move around very naturally, move around the object to see the wall and to see the shape I was making to see if it would fit. Um, like I said, I don't know why I feel kind of bad for me being an almost hardcore gamer, and that simple game I had the most
Almost,
fun.
What is that?
Is that
almost hardcore gamer.
I'm not I don't think I'm fully hardcore, 'cause, but I'm close to it. But
Yeah, you flirting hard with it. Go ahead.
but for that simple game to be something that I had the second most fun playing, it was I said I was just shocked, and the guy asked me that I want to do it again. I was like, heck yeah, let's do this again.
What was you finna say, D2K? You was finna say something.
Mm-mm. No.
Oh, okay. I thought you said was finna say something.
But
Go ahead.
yeah, so the PlayStation VR, it's good, man. It doesn't hold up graphically like John was saying, but John explained why, which I understand, because both it's a lower price point, so you do get the lower price point with the system, and also you're going to see better graphics on the PC, which is right off the bat. I mean that's obvious. But the fun I had with it, and I could see myself actually getting that. If I had the games to play it, I can actually see myself buying it because I had fun doing it. So
Okay.
I just want to know if they're gonna make me buy that new gun, or am I gonna be able to use my old gun?
you know, you got to buy a new gun, bro.
You already basically sold, Shaw. That's what you saying.
I got everything I need. All I need is the headset.
Okay.
I got the eye sitting right here with the double cameras. 3D vision. You know what I'm saying? 3-dimensional cameras or whatever. I got the Move controllers. I got the PlayStation 4. I got everything. All I need is the headset.
Like I said, for me, I had to experience it to. But if it's anything reminiscent of Oculus, I don't know if I'm willing to spend $399 for it. But
All I needed was a game. I needed confirmation on what they was making, and confirmation that some other games were going. All I needed was 5. But if I got 5 games, then I'll do it because that's more than I got with the Move. So
so is it a purchase for you, K-Ball?
I'm a married man, and my wife has expensive taste. So, as of right now,
She's
no.
probably saying something to you right now too. I bet she ready to punch you, but you just.
I'm not by her. I can say that because I'm not by her, so I can say that.
Okay, cool.
No, my wife, she has Coach Purses and Kate Spade, and no, not Kate Spade yet, but Michael Kors and all that other stuff. And she likes going to Tiffany, so I need to stop all that.
Yeah.
So I want to buy it, but I have to buy everything. I don't have the eye, I don't have the moves, I don't have the headset, and that's a lot to invest. So I got to convince my wife that what I'm saying, this is
you looking at about $700 just to get into it.
Exactly. So I don't know. I'm gonna wait and see. I'm gonna see what it comes. What people say once Christmas time rolls around and people get a chance to try it. And if there's positives, I know it's gonna be positive and negatives, but if it's mostly positive, then I'll definitely make my ways to get it because the experience of playing VR is unlike anything else.
Yeah, it's definitely, and I'll let D2K jump on here, but I would say this for all gamers. It's definitely something a real gamer will enjoy. That's bottom line. I don't care who you are. If you like playing video games, you will love playing VR. But like I said, and John Shaw keeps saying, I don't know if it's priced at a price point that'll make you jump into it and actually to where it would be successful. Even on PlayStation 3 being $399, I still think that's pretty hefty for the experience. So at the moment, so we'll go ahead, D2K. You got anything you want to share on it?
If I do VR, it's probably gonna be for the PC. I'm not sure. I think my PC is VR capable. I mean, I have a GTX 970.
what's your
What's that?
what's your PCU?
My CPU.
Yeah, see, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking
Oh, it's a i7.
Yeah, I think you.
And I got 16 gig of RAM.
I think,
so
you right borderline on it.
yeah. So well, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But I'm probably gonna do the PC, and I might check out the Vive because based on what you guys were saying, that to me that seems like the experiences I would want doing VR.
Man,
But
we
that
haven't even explained one of the games on Vive yet, bro.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's talk about that, man. I will finish what you were saying, D2K, then we'll talk about it. I ain't want to cut you.
But based off of what I saw in Sony's conference, all the games they got coming on PlayStation VR. I want to cop that too because the Star Trek, not Star Trek,
Star
but
Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah, that Star Wars look fire.
Yeah, I mean, like that's what I've been waiting for. I mean, they took the space battles out of Battlefront, so they were just gonna make a VR game. I go, okay, that's cool.
Man,
Well,
don't let them
it's
get no damn lightsaber game. Oh, it's over.
but
I will buy it
see,
just for that.
but you know what? But you know what? I remember when they first announced Kinect. That was what sold me. I was thinking like, oh man, I can't wait for them to do a lightsaber game. I can't wait for them to do a Dragon Ball game. Both those games were crap. So I'll wait and see what they do with a lightsaber game with that. I'll wait and see. I want to see it, but we'll see.
I'm trying to think
Okay.
what. I must have
Go
missed
ahead, go
those
ahead, go
games.
Huh?
So I must have missed those two.
There was I forgot what the name of
Yeah.
there was a Star Wars game where you lean forward, you do the
Yeah, it
force,
was.
the force dash or whatever, and it was terrible. And then the Dragon Ball game was I don't even want to get into that.
Okay, maybe it's good I missed it then.
Man. Anyway, oh yeah.
Okay, so I don't want to be too much longer. So let's get into this real quick. K-Bum, because I think I know the game he's talking about. If you talking about the like gingerbread
Bruh.
Hot damn, this shit $800?
Yeah, the Vive 800, man. Hey,
Oh, fuck that.
Hey, but I
PC
feel you,
show,
bruh,
PC
man,
show. Anyway.
bruh. Okay, I'll just tell you about the arrow. So, you the way it plays is a castle defense game.
Man.
And you have a bow and arrow, and you have little stick, not really stick figures, a little bit thicker than that, but little figures that are walking towards your castle, and you have to kill them. And what you have is a bow and
They're
arrow.
trying to breach your castle.
They're trying to breach the castle, and so you got to shoot them with the bow and arrow, all Game of Thrones style, before they get to the wall. And man, if you want to talk about being immersed in a game, the thing is, so you have the bow and arrow. It's not just the bow and arrow, man. It's the force feedback from the controllers that you can almost feel like you can actually feel the tension of pulling a bow back.
Right.
And I think that's one of the things that just make you say, "Oh man, this is it."
Now, go ahead.
No, I was saying,
Man, Sony had a game like that for the move controllers. That was dope. I like that bow and arrow game. That was dope.
It'll bring you into if you want to get an idea of what cable. This is not really comparable, but it could bring kind of an idea of what's going on. You either can think about Wii Sports Resort and the bow and arrow portion of that game. That'll kind of give you a sense of what you're actually doing. But just imagine moving around in a free world doing that, and the controller actually feel like the rope is pulling tight. Like, I don't know how they do it. Maybe it's your mind and the feel and the sound creating this virtual theme that make you feel like you really pull the bow and arrow real tight. You can use that to get an idea, and you can also use with Nintendo Land the Zelda portion where you was shooting the bow and arrow as well. It'll put you in the line of that. But the Ninja Star part of Nintendo Land is how the characters look. Like if you ever played the Ninja game on Nintendo Land, that's how the characters look. But you're in like K-Bum was saying, you're on the top of a castle like an archer, looking down into to the ground, and they just coming out in droves from different angles. And this what tripped me out, K-Bum.
What up?
When they would get right out of view, like where you had to look over the edge of where you at, and you had to shoot them, and from the you literally had to take the arrow and point down to shoot them. And dude, Vive is real. Vive, I mean, all of them is tight. But what Vive is doing is literally taking you and placing you in the world, and you are the controller.
Vive is that deal,
For
man.
$800, it better be.
If I had the money, bro, I have a Vive right now.
You need to give me a blowjob while it's at it.
Oh, come on.
$800. Shit, that's
He killing the
hell.
PC, brother.
Man, we
PC.
are a
Man, I'm sorry,
family-oriented
man. The family,
show,
hey,
Shaw.
just explain the birds and the bees. Um,
But go ahead.
man, look here, $800. That's dead. More dollars. That's my PC. Like, damn,
It's
that's life
expensive.
choices right there.
Right. That's why I said I don't think it's going to connect. I think it's going to be.
Yeah, they better. After I spend that $800, they better take me to another world. Yeah,
Yeah,
I need to go to another world after I spend.
but anyway, so
My rent is that's my rent. That's the whole rent right there. This is
but anyway, let's kind of wind this down, man. So, far as me, and I'll go through each guy. VR is a real experience. It's not a gimmick. It's not a joke. It's not a game. It's real. It's not virtual boy. We can stop. It's not a joke, and I don't care who wants. Only reason you saying it is you was like me. You ain't experienced it, so you're talking from ignorance. It is real. It does exactly what it claims it can do. It will make you forget you're in a fake world. It will literally freak you out. It will challenge your manhood. It will punk you out. I couldn't imagine playing Resident Evil or what's that one game that we was talking about last time? On
Resident Evil.
not Resident Evil. Me and K-Bone was talking about Dead Space. I could not play Dead Space with this thing on my eye.
I went to the dump in my shorts.
Yeah, I would have been on tore up my TV, tore up everything in my house trying to. So it's too immersive. It's too real. But is that enough to be successful? I don't know. I'm still
not at that price.
not at the price. It's ain't priced, and I don't think they can make it any cheaper. You know, actually, they might be already selling to their loss as it is. So, but I told you, D2K, you say you interested in this soldier, something you looking into getting into.
Well, I mean, I was really kind of taken aback on how a lot of the games that I saw for VR for Sony look like games that I would want to play anyway. But the fact that they're in VR, I'm like, I'm gonna have to give this a try. So let's see what happens when they're available. I think about picking up at least a PlayStation VR because it's more affordable than the other ones.
Okay. Shaw, you already basically said what they got to do for you to get it, but go ahead,
Yeah,
man.
PlayStation. If I'm going to get something, it's gonna be PlayStation. And as far as it's gonna go till they come down on that price, cause nah, buddy.
Man, if you would jump, and I know we always, we don't do the Kickstarter thing, but for all those who did the Kickstarter, they was blessed with free Oculus Rifts, man. The newer models of them, what we played, was basically gifted to him, but he paid for the Vive and all that. So, but K-Bum, you still up in arms. You don't know if you're gonna get it or not yet.
If I wasn't married, I have it by now. But I'm interested, man. But I don't know if I'm getting it. So
You gotta be like, baby, you know that Coach Purse I got you last week? I'm gonna need this Oculus Rift.
She gonna be like,
Yeah, she gonna be like, and I need you to go downstairs and play what you got. That's what mine tells.
Oh, that's so.
And I need you to go downstairs and play what you got. So.
Well, baby, I'm gonna need you to keep that purse that you got last week.
No, you ain't trying to live, Shawty. You trying to get killed, man.
Forget
Shaw
me. I ain't trying to have no fun.
Yeah, we won't hear Shaw next week. Well, we found out that Shaw
buy her
got.
own stuff. Don't ask me for nothing.
But anyway, man, I think we exhausted everything we could talk about. Hope y'all enjoyed this podcast. VR is a real thing. Is it here to stay? It's yet to be seen. But if you get a chance, if you have the opportunity, whether it's the VR, Oculus, or Vive, do yourself a favor and check it out. Don't be a skeptic. Don't be a hater for no reason, you might miss out on a grand experience that might totally change how you view VR and how you view gaming because it's really that good. But with that being said, starting with D2K, go ahead and sign out, man.
This is D2K signing out to next week.
All right, John Shaw,
Peace.
K Bump 20. Yeah, I know you ain't doing no dapping and stuff.
It's a sound
Dude,
effect from
literally
one of
hitting
them
his
dubs.
head.
Nah, man. It's K-Bond 20, man. It's been fun. Like I said, y'all, check out the website. Go down to check out the PlayStation, Best Buy if you can, and leave us your thoughts in the comments so you get a chance to check it out.
All right. Also, make sure you go to fulleffectgaming.com. Read all our articles over there. That's fulleffectgaming.com. Shout out to D2K for doing it big. D. He just became the man over there, man. His articles is just that good. But go check them out over there and check all of us out. Myself, Jedi Knight, and the one and only John Shaw,
K
the
Bone coming
host.
soon.
So as soon as K-Bun decide he want to put something up about the
K Bone, okay,
PlayStation.
I'm gonna hound him.
But anyway, yeah. So go check us out over there. Patronize us. And this has been the Live and Level Gamers Podcast, episode 55. We are out of here.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. About to get out of here. Stay tuned next Thursday. Probably do it again. Thanks for coming to the stream and watching. Thanks to Ryan. Thanks to Lightning. Thanks to Ace. Thanks to Idiot Cat. Thank you guys for stopping by and chatting. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And, get out of here. Till next time. Peace.
All right.